I'm Representative Steve Handy.
And I'm Representative Keith Grover.
And this is the Balding White Guy Caucus. Today we've been overwhelmed with requests actually to do more pantomimes.
Yes.
Our original video had a pantomime in it about ears bears, and so I thought we'd do one today. You ready?
Ready.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to try to guess what we're doing, and we're gonna let our interns guess too. So they're gonna throw out guesses and see if we can get it. See how good we are at pantomimes. Okay.
Ready. Go ahead.
Ready. One.
Oh, we're doing it at the same time.
What?
Oh, go ahead.
Are we doing it in turn, or are we doing it at the same
Yeah. No,
time?
you go first.
I think we should.
And then I'll do it.
Should we do it at the
Okay.
same
All
time?
right.
Let's
okay.
try to get them figured out.
Okay.
Ready?
All right. Sounds
Okay.
good.
1, 2, 3. Go.
Bald.
Angels.
Praying.
Praying. King looking.
Oh, what do you want to just give it
It's
away
the
now?
curtain Zion.
The Zion curtain. We're going to talk about the Zion curtain. We're talking about alcohol policy. And alcohol policy is really unique in Utah, actually. I mean, we are in the business of selling alcohol. And the alcohol funds, the revenues from alcohol, go to the school kids. So, beer for education, right? Or alcohol for education.
Yeah. Booze for kids.
Booze, yeah. That's kind of...
No, it is a very serious conversation that's underway. Representative Brad Wilson's working on it. Well, one thing that's interesting is I think all states are a little bit weird about alcohol policy, but for some reason here in the state of Utah, it's always tied to the LDS Church, and so we get this big debate about it's not just a curtain or a barrier; it's the Zion's curtain. And we were just wondering before we went live why, for example, all the weird alcohol laws in Pennsylvania aren't called the Catholic curtain or the
right, or the Bible Belt Baptist beer barrier.
or the Methodist mosh pit. For some reason, here in Utah, it always has to be tied to the church, so it's Zion's this and Zion's that, which is a bit weird. But the bottom line is all states are a little bit strange when it comes to alcohol policy, and the current effort, which has been led by Representative Brad Wilson, really is focused on trying to make our alcohol policy more rational. That doesn't mean it's perfectly rational, but a little more common sense. We actually have a couple of props. Thank you, Michaela. So here's a perfect example of, even here in good old Utah, we have, it can be kind of confusing because you can buy these in the grocery store next to the donuts, and apparently Brad Wilson knows somebody, a grandma, who bought a bunch of these for her grandkids for Christmas, thinking, hey, this is kind of cute, little bottle of root beer, and it's only when you get...
Was it Sue Duckworth?
It might have been. I'm not naming names. I'm not naming names, but it's only when you get up close that it says hard root beer, and I think that probably doesn't mean anything to people. And then in sort of small, hard-to-read print, or at least for this old guy,
yeah,
it says contains alcohol. What's that?
Yeah, I actually have almost purchased these myself because I'm kind of a root beer connoisseur, root beer collector. So I saw these on the shelf.
Okay, I've never seen one of those.
Yeah, I'll add that to my collection.
So one of the proposed law does several things. One is it actually makes sure that these hard root beers are sold in the portion of the grocery store where other beer and other alcoholic beverages are sold. But the biggest item, the big news item, has to do with the Zion curtain itself. So for years, people in the restaurant industry and stuff have said, hey, tear down the wall.
Representative Wilson, tear down that wall. This wall.
And finally, no. And he's tried to negotiate that, and really what it does is it creates an option principally for restaurants that serve liquor, to move to kind of everybody gets the same set of rules. Now it's a patchwork. Depending on when the business was founded, it can be a really harsh set of restrictions they have to deal with, or almost no restrictions they have to deal with. This puts everybody kind of in the same category, but moving forward it gives them 3 options that they can do. One, they can have the wall, just like they've done. So if they've already put it up to comply with existing law, and they just want to leave it up, that's fine. And do you know the other things they can do?
Yeah, if they were grandfathered in, they don't have to do anything, right?
Or they can leave that, but if you're a newly constructed restaurant or you're not in compliance now, then you have a couple of other options.
Mm-hmm. Then you've got the
full
moat.
wall. Then you got
you've got the 10 foot
10 foot from the bar to the table. If you're going to be sitting kids at the table, the tables have to be more than 10 feet away from the bar. So that's when we say moat. It's just creating some space between the bar and sort of the regular restaurant tables. And the last one, do you remember that one? It's the...
I don't. Oh yeah,
the half.
it's the half wall.
The pony wall, as some have called it. Sort of a permanent structure. But the idea is
You might be peeking over it.
Yeah, you can peek. Well, the kids can't peek. But that actually is very similar to what's been done in other states like Washington. So really by trying to level the playing field, make sure everybody's subject to the same set of rules, still preserving kind of Utah's approach, which is we want to discourage underage drinking and overconsumption of alcohol while not interfering with people's ability to get a drink. Adults want to drink. That's kind of the policy balance it's trying to strike.
You know, I'm pretty sure that if I took my kids in and the Zion Curtain wasn't there in the restaurant where I was sitting down and eating, if beverages were served in the sight of my children, they would likely be alcoholics.
It could happen.
Yeah.
And if that happened, I mean, it's not like they turn on the TV and don't see
The beer commercials during the Super Bowl?
5 zillion beer commercials.
Yeah.
All of
Yeah.
which are designed to make alcohol look fun and attractive and everything else. But hey, if you saw that drink mixed in the corner,
Well,
you never know.
I mean, underage drinking, alcoholism, I have yet to see any studies that indicate that this type of a barrier. I understand the separation within a restaurant between the bar part of the restaurant and the restaurant, food service portion. But I have yet to see any studies that indicate that this type of, the lack of a Zion wall or Zion curtain results in more underage drinking or alcoholism or higher DUI rates. So that is really where I'm coming from on the issue. I've been opposed to the Zion curtain for a number of reasons. That's probably the biggest one. Demonstrate to me that this actually will have an impact. Now, merchandising, I understand. If we were reducing merchandising, the messages that we're sending people, kids included, in that type of environment, I understand.
But your point is that
that
merchandising
approach.
is there full force, and we're just kind of figuring it. There's
Yeah.
Personally, I've always thought Zion's curtain's okay. I remember having this discussion with former speaker Becky Lockhart, where I'm like, little weirdness is okay. I don't think there probably is the cause and effect, just like you say, but there's something to say that is a little bit different, so that people come here, they realize that it's not an alcohol culture. We don't embrace it quite the same way, and I think that's not bad. The message that it sends sort of as a culture. If you walk into a grocery store in Nevada, for example, very dramatic, a different effect, right? You walk in, the first 3 aisles are nothing but booze, top and bottom.
I mean, Costco is the same. Costco's one of the largest alcohol retailers in the world, right? I mean, that's a huge revenue.
People said Trader Joe's would never locate to Utah because they can't sell booze. But we actually have a Trader Joe's in Salt Lake City, so
alcohol free.
Maybe they're trying to get it in under. No, we love Trader Joe's. We're glad to have them here.
Yep.
So let's drink to that.
All right, I'll drink to that. Not this stuff, but okay.
Not this stuff. The real root beer.